It was predicted. Most of the food you eat is designed around how your brain responds. It's not an accident that you want one more bite. It doesn't have to look suspicious, it just has to work. And it works very well. Today, I'll show you the ingredients that make that decision feel like yours. Most people think it's about taste or habits, but in reality, it's something simpler. It's about how specific ingredients affect your brain, not all of them. Just the ones that do it to eat well enough, and show up more often than they should. Let's start with one of the most obvious ones. You know that feeling when you tell yourself, just something small and sweet, and it turns into way more than you planned? That's not just a lack of willpower. When you eat sugar, your brain activates the reward system and releases dopamine, a signal that says, that felt good, do it again. And the more often this happens, the more your brain adapts, which means over time, you need more to feel the same effect. This is exactly why one piece is rarely enough. At the same time, your blood sugar rises quickly and then drops just as fast. And that drop is what creates another craving. Not because you're hungry, but because your body is trying to get back to balance. Feel good for a moment, then crash, and want it again. This isn't hunger, it's a loop. Yeah. Just one cookie. We both know how that ends. And what makes it worse is that sugar isn't just in obvious sweets. It's in cereals, sauces, protein bars, flavored yogurt, even in foods that seem healthy. So even if you think you don't eat much sugar, you might be consuming it multiple times a day, without even realizing it. If you think caffeine gives you energy, you're already starting with the wrong assumption. It doesn't. It only hides the fact that you're tired, and it does it pretty well. Inside your brain, there's a chemical called adenosine. That's what makes you feel tired. The longer you stay awake, the more of it builds up. And this fruit feel you get. Caffeine doesn't remove it. It doesn't reset anything. It blocks the receptors, so you don't feel it. So in simple terms, you're tired. You just don't notice it. And for a moment, it works. You feel better. More focused, like you have energy again. But nothing actually changed. The fatigue is still there. Waiting. And when the caffeine wears off, it comes back. Often stronger. That's the crash. And guess what you do next? Exactly. Another coffee. And that's the loop. Over time, your body adapts. You build tolerance. So now you need more, just to feel the same. Not better. Just normal. Without it feel sick, you feel worse than you should. With it, you feel like yourself again. Great deal, right? It's not energy. It's borrowed alertness. With interest. Salt doesn't feel addictive, at least not like sugar. You don't crave salt on its own, and that's exactly why it's so easy to ignore. Because it works differently. Quietly, when you add salt to food, it doesn't just change the taste, it amplifies it, it activates taste receptors, and makes food feel more intense. More complete, more satisfying, and your brain notices that. It registers it as something better, more rewarding. And when something feels more rewarding, you naturally want more of it. Not because you're hungry, because it tastes too good. And that's where the problem starts. Because it doesn't change what you eat, it changes how much you eat. You eat a little more, then a little more, and suddenly, the whole pack is gone. Yeah, just a few chips, try stopping there. Exactly. This isn't random. Many processed foods are designed to hit your brain perfectly. Salt, fat, sometimes sugar, a precise combination. This is what scientists call hyper-palatable food. Food engineered so well, your brain doesn't want to stop. And the worst part is, you don't feel like you're losing control because it all feels normal. This isn't lack of willpower, it's a system. MSG. Sounds serious, but it's not some kind of poison. It naturally occurs in food. Tomatoes, cheese, nothing unusual. The real issue is what it does to flavor. MSG activates umami receptors. That's the taste that makes food feel fuller, more complete, simply better. Your brain reads it as something valuable, something worth going back to. And this is where it gets interesting. What you eat doesn't really change. How much you eat does. Because when something tastes better, it's harder to draw the line. You eat faster. You reach more often. You don't think about it in the moment. Only later you notice it was more than you planned. Hunger wasn't the main driver. The flavor was tuned to keep you going. And no, that's not random. That's exactly what this ingredient does. Refined wheat flour is a product that has been largely stripped of fiber. This directly affects how the body processes it. Without fiber, digestion happens quickly. Carbohydrates are broken down efficiently, leading to a rapid increase in blood glucose levels. The body responds by releasing insulin. Its role is to lower blood sugar. The issue is that this response can be overly strong. After the initial rise, a drop follows. And that drop is critical. At that point, the body interprets it as a decrease in available energy. A feeling of hunger appears, even if a meal was eaten recently. This is not a conscious decision. It is a physiological response. The result is more frequent eating. Over time, this creates a repeating pattern. Glucose rises, then falls, followed by renewed appetite. And that cycle directly affects how much food is consumed during the day. Trans fats are not designed for you. They're designed for the product. Longer shelf life, better texture, lower cost. That's the priority, not your body. These fats are chemically altered, so they behave differently. And your body doesn't really know what to do with them. They interfere with normal processes, how your cells function, how your body handles cholesterol. Over time, that creates risk. Not immediately, not in a way you can feel, but slowly, silently. That's what makes it dangerous, because nothing feels wrong. Until something is. The problem is, you don't choose trans fats. They're hidden in baked goods, fried foods, cheap snacks, things you eat without thinking. Yeah, that quick snack, not so quick for your body. So it's not about craving, it's about exposure, again and again and again. Casein is the primary protein found in milk. At first glance, it doesn't seem particularly different. The distinction appears during digestion. In the stomach, casein forms a gel-like structure. This slows gastric emptying and extends the digestion process. Protein is released gradually, over a longer period of time. During this process, smaller fragments are formed, known as peptides. Some of these, called casomorphins, can interact with opioid receptors, the same receptors linked to pleasure and relaxation. The effect is subtle but noticeable. Dairy products may feel more comforting, more calming, easier to return to. There is no clear signal. No obvious stopping point, just a slight shift toward repeating the choice. And that's often enough to reach for them more frequently than actual hunger would require. Gluten is a protein responsible for the structure of grain-based products. It forms a network that gives dough elasticity and cohesion. As a result, bread doesn't crumble but maintains a soft, cohesive form. This directly affects how food is consumed. In food science, the term mouthfeel is used. It refers to mechanical sensations in the oral cavity. Texture, resistance during chewing, ease of breakdown. Foods containing gluten typically have low mechanical resistance. They are soft, easy to chew, and quickly form a uniform mass. This reduces the time needed to process each bite. It increases eating speed and reduces signals that would normally slow consumption. The body does not receive a clear point of mechanical fatigue. The result is straight backward. Bites come easily, with little effort, without natural interruption. In practice, this can increase total intake, even in the absence of strong hunger. Taste is not that behaves in the mouth plays an equally important role. Take something labeled as strawberry flavor. Now check the ingredients. Most of the time, there's no actual strawberry in it. And yet, your brain accepts it without hesitation. That's what flavors do. They don't add value. They don't change the calorie content. They change the signal your brain receives. Smell reaches your brain faster than taste, and it's strongly connected to memory. So if something smells right, everything else becomes less important. Food feels better than it actually is. More familiar, more accurate, and that's enough to eat more because your body expects a certain response. But it doesn't fully get it, so the loop repeats. A bit more, again, and suddenly, something that was only supposed to taste good starts controlling how much you eat. This isn't a secret, it just works. Food is supposed to taste good, be convenient, and not make you think too much. Everything else follows. You eat, you come back to it. And at some point, it just becomes a habit. This isn't about changing everything overnight, but it helps to understand what's really going on, because then you actually have a choice, not just an automatic reaction. Now, I'm actually curious. Do you know any other ingredients that work like this? Drop them in the comments. I might check them out and turn it into another video. And if you found this useful, leave a like and subscribe for more.